Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Joffrey Noodle Legs here again today. Here we are once again in Christmas horror movie week with the third film of the week, and we are looking at Black Christmas. Now this is a 101 film edition of Black Christmas. It contains a reversible cover and 2 discs. I must say, 101 films this year have been, and the last couple of years have been really good. They're almost like the new sort of Amazon. They're like the new Arrow, really. They've sort of taken over a lot of the cult movies that Arrow were putting out. Whereas Arrow lately have been going a little bit more sort of mainstream, and or getting some sort of like, some mainstream titles like Robin Hood and things like that. Whereas 101 seem to be still sticking to their guns with the cult movies. Well, this has been out a little while. It's the first ever Blu-ray release of Black Christmas, so it's great to know that is now out on Blu-ray. So I'll give you a little synopsis of the film. This was made in 1974, so the clips might look a bit grainy. Love it. I love grainy in films. Anyway, the film starts off with a sort of house establishing shot. So this is a beautiful looking house, isn't it? It's really cool. And then we cut to our killer, but we don't see him. All we see him in the film is in first person perspective, and we see him sort of stalking the house on the outside. So that's quite cool. I quite like that effect. In fact, this is one of the first films to use that, and lots of other films went on to sort of use that effect, including John Carpenter's Halloween. We saw a lot of Michael Myers in first person's perspective or over the shoulder with all of just his breathing, didn't we? So anyway, then we cut to see the young girls having a jibber jabber inside the sorority house.
I was the only one there working tonight.
We were there this afternoon, Bar.
A likely story.
How's it look?
Yulish, very Yulish. Have you got your Santa Claus suit ready?
Yeah. What time do little bastards arrive?
At 1 o'clock.
Terrific.
Hello? Pardon? Who? Bob, it's for you. Long distance.
Oh, great. Hang on, I'll take it in the other room.
So there are the girls there with the beautiful Margaret Kidder. I love Margaret Kidder. I thought she was a beautiful woman. Sadly, I think she's passed away now. She also played Lois Lane in the Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve ones. Yeah, beautiful woman. So there she is jibber jabbing with that guy with the crazy hair, looking something from the Hair Bear bunch. So yeah, there and jibber jabber. Then we cut back to the owl killer outside, and he's managed to make all his way up towards the attic. So he's made his way into the house. We then cut down to Margaret Kidder again. This time she's on the telephone. And we can see it from the perspective of the killer watching her.
Mom, hang on, I can't hear you. Operator, I can't hear what's coming from the other end. Can you? Yeah. All right. Party's over. Come on, all the men out. Come on. Bye-bye. No, operator, I still can't hear. Hi, Mom. Yeah, I can hear you now. No, we're just having a little party. No, I've had a couple. Oh, come on, I'm not drunk.
We then cut back to Margaret Kidder again. She's talking to her friends because I think she's had some sort of news about her mum or whatever on Christmas Day. She doesn't want her to stay there. She wants her to go on this skiing trip. So she asks her friends if they want to go with her.
I said that Mom hollers. Anyone else want to come?
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Great. How about you, Claire?
No thanks, Barb. I've made some other plans. Okay. Hello? 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 Hey, quiet! It's him again! The Mona!
Expanded his act.
Could that be one person?
No, Claire, that's the Mormon Tabernacle Choir doing their annual obscene phone call.
We then cut to a phone rings and the girls pick it up and it goes, oh, it's that dirty caller again. And they're all sort of listening to the call. So yeah, nice chap, eh? Nice language there. Yeah, he's quite rude. Then Margaret Kidder gives him a, I think her name's Barbara in the film. Gives her some more, gives it back if you like, you know, sort of like arguing with him. And then the guy hangs up, and the girls are not too pleased about Barbara sort of like arguing with him, thinking it can just cause more problems.
Maybe. But you know, that town girl was raped a couple of weeks ago.
Darling, you can't rape a townie. You really are too much, Barb. Oh, come on, this is a sorority house, not a convent.
I'll see you later. I'm gonna go pack. Come on, Claire. She didn't mean anything. No, really, Jess, it's okay. I have to finish packing anyway.
So they have a lot of jibber jabber going on about that, and then the older woman turns up, the housekeeper.
I think the stores must take party lessons this time of year. I haven't flushed such a bunch of
Listen, Matt, come in the other room. We've got a surprise for you. Come on.
Another coffee.
Where have you been? Mrs. Mack's been looking all over for you. Oh, little puss. Have you? Go on now. Got some things to do. Let's see.
Anyway, one of the girls that's going home for the Christmas break, I think a character name might be Katie, I can't remember, but she goes upstairs to start packing her stuff, and there's someone in her closet watching her.
Is that you, Brooks? Kitty? Who is that? Who is it? Claude? Who is that? Who is it?
So she's been killed. She's the first death, and I love the music in there. It's very atmospheric. I don't know what instruments they're playing, but what it sounds like to me is like a piano, like the inside of a piano, because it's got strings, isn't it? Like he's sort of like playing the sort of strings inside the piano. That's what it sounds like. I don't know, but it's really cool. And then we cut to another good bit of camera work where we see just shadows of the killer sort of taking the body of the girl up to the attic.
Oh yeah, come on. Everybody thinks a little something won't take long. Come on. That's the girls. Yes. A little cooperation.
So he's taken the body up to the attic, and then we get another phone call.
Hello?
Hello, is Jess there, please?
Yeah, wait a second, Peter. Jess, it's for you. It's him. Hello?
Hi. Party.
Oh, it was good. Too bad you couldn't make it.
I've been practicing for 4 days straight. I'm really wiped out.
Yes, I know.
Jess, dear, you won't forget to put out the lights.
You've got to find some time. I've got to talk to you.
So it turns out to be Jess's boyfriend, and she speaks to him on the phone and says she wants to meet him and talk to him. I think the sub-story plot with her and her boyfriend is she's pregnant and she doesn't want to keep the baby, but he wants her to keep it. There's a little subplot on that which tries to sort of persuade you towards that her boyfriend's the killer sort of thing. So I'll let you work that out yourself. So yeah, they have that sort of phone conversation, and then we cut back to the housekeeper being a bit weird in the bathroom. Okay, yeah, she's a bit strange, this woman. Then we sort of cut upstairs to the attic. So there we can see the body of the girl there, and the killer sort of singing a sort of nursery rhyme. Anyway, the story sort of progresses, and the housekeeper starts hearing noises of the cat going upstairs because she's just about to go out. But she hears the cat upstairs, so she goes up looking for it, and then she gets killed by the killer. So she goes missing. And that's how the story sort of goes on. One by one, they all go missing. And that's all I'm going to tell you, because it's a really great film. It's a really suspenseful film. It really reminds me a lot of When a Stranger Calls. It really does remind me of that film. When people compare this film, they always talk about how influence it has on so many sort of films, you know, like Halloween, Friday the 13th and all this. It's like the sort of one of the early sort of slashers. Obviously, it's not the first, because you had things like Mario Bava's Bay of Blood and stuff like that, which was before these two, before Black Christmas. But people talk of this as a really influential film, and it is. It's got a very sort of slasher, stalky feel to the film. It's got a good ending. It's got a good story. It's, you know, and what I quite like about it, it makes the women the sort of hero, the stronger sex in the film, because like the police in the film are useless. It does star John Saxon, which is cool, but they're useless, and they just sort of stumble over their own investigations or get it all wrong. So it's left to the woman to actually solve it themselves, and I quite like the way they did that. I think that was quite cool. So what did I think of the film? It's a classic. It's brilliant. It's a classic. It's a classic horror film, and you know, it's one of those movies that you sit down Christmas time, darkened room with a nice hot drink or whatever you got, and just sit and watch a classic horror slasher Christmas story. And this is the one. It's classic. It's brilliant. The pluses of this edition: it looks amazing. The grain is awesome. There's so many layers to the director's the way he sort of filmed things. Is there's so many layers to it. Like sometimes like the killer's in first person, or it's relied on just shadows and stuff like that, or you get like a perspective of them through a window rather than just, you know, I love all that. I just think it's such a really clever way of filming. So the art and the filming of this is amazing. The acting's great. Margaret Kidder's in it. I love Margaret Kidder. Yeah, she was really hot when she was young. It's really well acted. Story's good. Good kills in the film. And there is a fair few, I think. Because it's quite a slow burning film, it takes a while. And because the killer doesn't kill them like loads, he takes his time and sort of picks one up one by one. It may seem like there's not that many, but there is actually quite a few in there, and it's really, really cool. Really good film, and with a good sort of convincing story. It's to me, like I said, it really reminds me of When a Stranger Calls, mixed with a sort of Argento, Suspiria kind of feel to the film. The sort of suspense of the film is very similar to an Argento sort of film. That's awesome. Negatives. The gore, guys. The gore. There's not a lot of gore in it. There is a little bit, but there's hardly any. But it's very like that. That's where it's like Halloween, or Halloween was like this, was because there's no gore in that either. It's all about the suspense. It's all about what you don't see in this film. Really good film. Amazing film. So I'm going to score this a amazing watch and give it a 9 out of 10. Would have got a 10 out of 10 if it just had that little touch of gore in there, just to give it that extra bit of spice. But there we go. It's an amazing film. If you love Halloween, any films like that, this is your Christmas horror film. Awesome film. Black Christmas, 9 out of 10. So there we are, guys. If any of you seen, you must have seen it if you're into horror films. But let me down below what you thought of it. I know there was a remake, and again, like a lot of remakes that were coming out at that time, like Psycho and things like that, I didn't feel not that they were bad movies. They can't be bad movies because they're using this story, and the story is amazing. Just pointless. No need for it. Didn't need a remake. This is classic. You don't need another one. I remember they were talking about doing remakes of Back to the Future. Why? The original's got Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Why would, and Crispin Glover? Why would you want to remake that amazing thing? It's no point. So I didn't really enjoy the remake. I have seen it. I don't own it because I didn't really enjoy it. But this is the one to watch. Really good film. So there we go. This is day 3 of the Christmas horror movie. So tomorrow's day 4. And we're going back to, I think it's 1980 this one was made, and we're going to be looking at Christmas Evil tomorrow. I think I've got it here. Hang on, let me put my hand on it. Here we go. We're going to be looking at Christmas Evil tomorrow. So that's tomorrow's film. Until then, check out some more horror channels for me, guys. Check out Horror Hands. Check out The Horror Geek and Manvy Film. Check out RS Designs, Pizzawell, I Am the Ice Lord, and Sarah of Horror. All amazing channels. Until next time, guys, don't let this keep you awake at night. Look after yourselves, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.